All right, here we go. We're live already. It's been a techie day already, but the Sarnia Sting out warming up right now. Hello, everybody. I'm David Burrows, live from the concourse. Tonight, Connor Burke joining me for all the broadcasts here tonight. We're giving Lee and Jay a little bit of a break. Wow, Connor, it's been, I call it the stock market team. All respect. I mean, it's just been up and down for this Sarnia Sting Hockey Club. Another kind of hi. I hate it when they just do that. Who are we? I don't even know who that is, but somebody's sticking our picture.
Sure, right on.
But you know what? The Sarnia Stings worked very, very hard. Although we will go back to, I guess that London game, 9-2. Al Letang came out and said, "I don't have a take on this game. We didn't show up. We didn't try. We didn't nothing." And we've seen a little bit of that, and then we've seen them come back. Like, I don't know where to go with talking about this team, Connor.
I know they're all over the place. They'll have a good game, and we had a decent game against Erie and we lost, but then you win the game against Mississauga before. And
yeah,
it's up and down, back and forth.
What do they need to do here? I mean, this is obviously as fans. I mean, you're frustrated. The fans are frustrated, but I will say, like, we had over 4,000 fans here last time we were at home. The fan support really stays true to the Sarnia Sting.
It's awesome to see. Like I said, we've been in talks of losing the team, and I'm glad everybody has rallied around that. That's
talks of losing the team. You mean you've been hearing that
a couple years back there
yeah.
when the attendance wasn't great. So I think people. Then they really want to support and come out. That's 90% attendance is it's a great average.
It really is overall out of all the OHL teams. We're
really
like right at the top there with that, including some arenas that are larger than what Sarnia has to offer here.
Having a better team right now.
Yeah, well, talking about better team, here we are against the Sioux Greyhounds here tonight. Here's a team that's got experience working together, playing alongside each other. Here's a team that's really big and strong, and here's a team that's already been doing very well this year. What's the Sarnia Sting got to do to come out against a team like the Sioux?
They got to be on their heels, I think, a little bit. That they're going to come out hot, I think, and
yep.
They can't go out and take penalties that are going to put them behind. I think that's a big one, is the undisciplined high hits.
We've been taking too many of those.
Stick in the legs.
Or unnecessary penalties.
Ones that can be prevented, just a silly, you didn't have to go. Hands didn't have to go that high, or you're a little late on that one, or just out of frustration, it seems like. And I'm sure
how do you
that's
prevent
hard to get
that
over.
Penalty, though? Everybody always says, stay out of the penalty box, stay out of the penalty box. But when you're down there, your skates are tied and you're going, I mean, there's a lot of reaction that goes on to, if you push me, I push you back, and maybe my hand slipped, or I don't know. How do you control the penalty?
The emotions are all over the
right?
place, and even more so for younger guys like
right.
this. With something on the line, they're all battling to get to the next level, and I think it's just trying to keep a level head, and then just realizing, this is for the team. It's not for
right
personal gain.
You're a young fella, you're in your 20s, so you probably remember. I'm older. You probably remember closer than I would about what it's like to be the age of like a player like 18, 19, 17. What can you relate to in that?
Like I said, just emotions are high all the time. Like battling for something to prove. I'm sure they've got their girlfriends. They want to impress their fans. There's just a lot on the line, and to control those emotions, it's something to do. It's a hard thing to do for sure. But
yeah. Were you like that?
Absolutely.
You didn't.
Jekyll and Hyde.
100%.
The nicest guy you met, and then I'm on
I
the
don't
ice
even hesitate to deny it at all. Right. It is, and it's a hard time out there. I will say, Al Letang and the coaching staff. I've talked to most of them, and they all do say, Letang said, we're not naive to what we have going here. At this point, we are definitely a rebuild team. We didn't see a lot of trade happen from the deadline last Wednesday or whatever that was, right? Were you surprised at that? Did you expect to see more trading happening, or are you happy with what they did?
I think what they did was a good move. They brought it. We didn't give up much for the LeBlanc twins in the summer, and then they managed to flip them for even higher picks. And it sucks to see them go, because I think they were fan favorites right off the bat.
100%.
And now it's but I think they got a good package. Like, and it's hard to complain. And the same thing with Vilmanis. That's a tough one to see go. Like,
Right.
A staple in the organization. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. We get a good couple draft picks and see where we go from here. Just see what the draft holds this summer.
And like around that time, well, that was actually the same day of the deadline was when we played London.
Right.
And so here we are coming in playing against a really strong team. There is a huge expectation there above what is normally the expectation because it's London, the Battle of the 402.
Certainly.
Then there's the trade deadline. And I know for a fact there's always a lot of talk around the OHL and the players of rumors of, am I going to go? Who's going to go? Like all that stuff is going on. And you add that all into the mix. And then you got to come out and play a team like London the same day it's a trade line. That it's not just out on the ice where the emotions come into play. It's in the locker room behind as well, right?
Well, that's right. These guys have lives. They have educations too that they could I'm sure that's on their mind as well. Like everything weighs in, and I'm sure it's not easy to settle when someone's telling you, oh, you might be going to another city 4 or 5 hours away from here. Who knows, right?
Yeah, and all of a sudden, then you've got to be there for the next game. And for some of these guys, like the LeBlanc brothers, I think they had to be North Bay, and
it was like the next day.
Right? So it's like, oh, how do I pack up all my stuff?
That's a lot of pressure.
and get
say
there.
Goodbye to everybody. Or the Billet family, and
because the Billet family, we don't talk about them enough for sure. The Billet families, I'm sure you know, Connor.
Huge round of applause.
Oh my goodness, they go way out of their way to support and they feeding these big guys alone. The allowance does not cover that. Let me tell you, I'm sure. So
steak and chicken, though, it's not cheap,
right? Yeah, because honestly, that's a good point. There's a diet set for these players as well, and it's like, no, you can't have burgers every day and all that sort of stuff.
Can't be having poutine or
right
McDonald's.
So kudos and a shout out to the Billet families. I want to take a moment too before we keep talking hockey, Connor. Billy Urchuk pointed out to me, and I'm glad that he did, that Robert Hughes, better known as Wheels, who's right over there, he does all the stats for the Sarnia Sting. This is his 500th game here tonight with the Sarnia Sting doing the stats.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a lot of games.
That's commitment.
Yeah,
he's here.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever seen him miss one. So thank you so much, Robert, and thanks, Billy, for pointing that out. I know the Sarnia Sting appreciate him being here, and that's a tedious job too. Like there was that pass. There was I wouldn't want to be doing that one. I don't.
Yeah,
sure.
That's a lot to count. Every shot on net.
You got fans over there. They want you to go drink beer with them, right? Well, Connor, we're getting ready to come out the gate here. Last tip of advice for the Sarnia Sting. What do they got to do?
Just be prepared. This is a good goalie, too. He handles a big workload. I think Schenkel's playing, right? So
yeah,
he's be ready for that and be ready for a tough team, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's starting between the pipes tonight. I haven't seen yet, but we'll be sure to find out coming up shortly. All right, well, we do appreciate all of you watching here. Of course, Connor's going to be back for the rest of the evening here, and then we'll be back at post-game press conference in the restaurant here at the end of the game, so we hope you'll join us for that. So stay tuned, and all right, I think that's about it. Live from the concourse, I'm David Burrows. This is my friend Connor Burke, and we're going to do it right now. 1, 2, 3,
go Sting, go!